You thought the drama around Cardi B and Stefon Diggs was finally slowing down, but now the internet is saying this whole situation just exploded in a way nobody expected. What started as rumors about cheating, secret relationships, and courtroom drama has now turned into one of the messiest celebrity scandals of the year. And the craziest part? People online are convinced the real damage didn't happen inside the courtroom. They think it happened the moment certain witnesses started talking about what was really going on behind the scenes of Stefon's private life. Suddenly, old receipts, late-night text messages, luxury gifts, and hidden friendships are all being pulled back into the spotlight. Fans are now questioning who really knew the truth this entire time, and whether Cardi was the last person to find out. Social media detectives are breaking down every interview, every Instagram Live, and every public appearance looking for clues. Meanwhile, blogs keep dropping new theories every single day, and now people close to the situation are allegedly worried even more names could get dragged into the chaos. Some fans believe this story is far from over, while others think the fallout is only just beginning. And once you hear how all these pieces connect together, you'll understand why the internet cannot stop talking about it. Everybody thought this whole situation was going to be another celebrity rumor that disappeared after a few weeks, but instead it turned into a non-stop internet firestorm that kept getting bigger every single day. The moment people started hearing details from inside the courtroom, social media completely exploded. Suddenly, every blog page, every reaction channel, and every hip-hop platform was talking about the same thing. People were no longer focused on whether there was drama between Cardi B and Stefon Diggs. Now, everybody wanted to know what was really happening behind closed doors inside Stefon's private circle. And according to people online, the testimony from certain witnesses completely changed the direction of the story. The internet especially locked onto one moment that had social media arguing for days. During testimony, questions started coming up about the relationship between Stefon and Mila Adams. At first, people assumed the connection was strictly professional. But once the word complicated entered the conversation, the blogs immediately went crazy. Suddenly, everybody started replaying old clips, reposting screenshots, and trying to connect timelines from months earlier. Fans began asking the same question over and over. If things were really that complicated behind the scenes, how much did Cardi actually know? That question alone turned this whole situation into a viral obsession. Because now people weren't just looking at a legal case anymore. They were looking at a celebrity relationship filled with rumors, secrets, and possible betrayal. The internet always reacts harder when emotions get involved, especially when a famous relationship is at the center of the chaos. And the moment people thought Cardi might have been blindsided by things happening around her, public attention skyrocketed. What made everything even messier was how fast online investigators started digging through every detail connected to Stefon's personal life. Old videos resurfaced. Party clips started circulating again. Fans even analyzed who followed who on Instagram, in which people suddenly stopped interacting online. That's how deep social media took this story. Everybody became a detective overnight. Then another detail started making headlines. Reports claimed witnesses described Stefon's inner circle almost like a private ecosystem full of assistants, staff members, personal workers, and longtime associates who had all built close relationships around him over the years. Once that narrative started spreading online, people began wondering whether Cardi was entering a situation far more complicated than she originally realized. One thing about celebrity culture today is that people don't just watch the stars anymore. They study the people around them too. Fans pay attention to hairstylists, assistants, trainers, chefs, and even close friends because they believe those people secretly know everything happening behind the scenes. So when stories involving Stefon's employees and associates started dominating headlines, the public became even more invested. The blogs especially focused on the testimony involving the hair braider and other women connected to Stefon's circle. Social media users kept saying the witnesses sounded calm, confident, and completely comfortable while answering questions. That alone caused massive debate online because viewers started comparing body language, facial expressions, and even tones of voice. TikTok creators were breaking down courtroom clips frame by frame like it was a true crime documentary. Meanwhile, Cardi's name kept getting pulled deeper into the conversation, even though she wasn't the one on trial. That's what shocked so many fans. Somehow, the public narrative shifted from courtroom allegations to Cardi potentially discovering uncomfortable truths about her relationship in real time. Every time she posted online, people flooded the comments searching for hidden messages. Even regular Instagram stories turned into headline news. Then things escalated again when internet users started revisiting old rumors that had previously been ignored. People remembered whispers about Stefon allegedly having multiple women around him over the years, and suddenly those rumors started spreading again with even more attention. Whether true or not, social media treated every old allegation like a brand new discovery. The timing also fueled speculation. Fans noticed that as courtroom updates became more public, Cardi appeared quieter online than usual. That alone triggered thousands of conspiracy theories. Some people believed she was furious behind the scenes. Others claimed she was trying to avoid adding more attention to the drama. And of course, critics immediately started saying she ignored red flags from the beginning. What made the entire situation feel even bigger was the non-stop media coverage. Sports outlets covered the legal side. Hip-hop blogs focused on Cardi's reaction. Gossip pages focused on relationship rumors. And reaction channels on YouTube combined all three into hour-long breakdowns that generated millions of views almost overnight. Every platform had its own version of the story, but all of them pushed the same idea that the scandal was growing larger by the minute. Then came another moment that sent social media into chaos. Discussions about old text messages reportedly introduced during testimony started spreading everywhere online. People debated every single word like it was coded evidence hiding deeper meaning. Some viewers thought the messages sounded normal and respectful. Others believed they exposed emotional tension behind the scenes. Either way, the internet treated every sentence like a clue in a giant mystery. The craziest part is that the public became less interested in proving facts and more interested in choosing sides. That's when situations like this become dangerous online. Once audiences emotionally attach themselves to a narrative, they stop caring about nuance. One side defended Cardi no matter what. Another side defended Stefon completely. And another group focused entirely on attacking Mila. The story stopped being about evidence and became pure internet warfare. At the center of all this chaos sat Cardi B, one of the biggest celebrities in music. That automatically raised the stakes, because people love watching famous relationships during moments of pressure. Fans always want to know whether couples survive scandals or fall apart publicly. That curiosity alone drives millions of clicks. People also kept discussing Cardi's history with public relationship drama. Critics online argued that she had already dealt with enough emotional chaos in past relationships and shouldn't be involved in another messy situation. Others defended her and said celebrities deserve privacy instead of constant judgment. But regardless of opinions, one thing became obvious. The internet was completely obsessed with watching how she would respond next. Another reason this story exploded is because modern audiences love narratives involving hidden lifestyles behind celebrity success. Fans are fascinated by the idea that athletes and entertainers operate inside secretive social circles most people never see. So once testimony allegedly started exposing details about staff members, luxury trips, expensive gifts, and complicated friendships, audiences became addicted to uncovering more. Some people online even started comparing the drama to reality television because every few days another shocking detail appeared. One moment the conversation focused on legal arguments. The next moment people were debating emotional loyalty, jealousy, private relationships, and power dynamics inside celebrity circles. It became bigger than a courtroom story. It became full-scale entertainment for the internet. And through all of it, Stefon himself stayed relatively quiet publicly, which only made the speculation worse. Every time celebrities refused to speak during controversy, audiences start filling the silence with theories. Some fans believed he stayed silent because he knew the allegations would collapse. Others claimed the silence was strategic to protect his image and career. Either way, people interpreted every move as meaningful. At the same time, sports fans also entered the conversation because they worried about how the scandal could affect Stefon's future in the NFL. Commentators debated whether teams would care about public controversy even after legal issues were resolved. Others argued that winning athletes often survive scandals faster than regular people. That created another layer of debate completely separate from the relationship drama. But despite all the arguments, one thing kept pulling viewers back into the story over and over again. People believed there were still secrets nobody had fully uncovered yet. That's why every interview, every witness statement, and every social media post immediately went viral. Audiences felt like they were watching pieces of a puzzle slowly fall into place in real time. And according to many fans online, the biggest emotional twist wasn't even the courtroom testimony itself. It was the possibility that Cardi B may have realized just how many people existed inside Stefon's private world long before the public ever heard about them. As the story kept spreading across the internet, people stopped looking at this situation like a normal celebrity scandal and started treating it like a full-blown psychological drama playing out in public. Every new detail added another layer to the chaos, and the deeper social media dug into the timeline, the more questions started appearing. Fans were no longer asking whether there was drama behind the scenes. They were trying to figure out who knew what when they knew it, and how long everything had supposedly been happening without the public noticing. One of the biggest reasons the situation exploded so hard online was because people became obsessed with the idea of Stefon's inner circle. Blogs and reaction channels kept describing it like a private world filled with longtime associates, trusted staff members, assistants, stylists, and people who had reportedly been around him for years. Once that narrative started spreading, fans immediately started comparing it to other celebrity situations where famous athletes or entertainers were surrounded by loyal people who protected their image at all costs. The internet especially focused on the women connected to that circle. Suddenly, viewers wanted to know who had been around Stefon the longest, who traveled with him, who had access to his home, and who knew details about his personal life. Every witness mentioned during testimony became a trending topic overnight. People weren't just watching the case anymore. They were analyzing relationships between everybody involved. At the same time, Cardi B's name kept getting pulled into every conversation because fans believed she represented the public face of Stefon's relationship life. That's what made things so uncomfortable online. The internet started pushing a narrative that there may have been entire layers of Stefon's personal world operating quietly behind the scenes, while Cardi remained focused on the public side of the relationship. Whether true or not, that idea fueled nonstop discussion. Then came another wave of online reactions when people began discussing the timeline surrounding the alleged money disputes and legal tension. Social media detectives started creating detailed breakdown videos connecting dates, invoices, social media posts, travel schedules, and public appearances. Some TikTok creators even built giant digital timelines, trying to show how every event connected together. That's when the story became even more dangerous from a public image standpoint. Once the internet starts building timelines, audiences begin assuming every coincidence means something. A deleted photo suddenly becomes proof. A missed event becomes suspicious. A quiet Instagram week becomes panic. That's exactly what happened here. The blogs especially focused on reports involving expensive gifts, travel plans, and emotional tension inside the relationship dynamic. One topic that kept resurfacing online was the discussion about a luxury designer beanie allegedly gifted before everything exploded publicly. Fans debated why someone would still exchange expensive gifts if major relationship problems were already happening behind the scenes. Some people argued it proved the relationship wasn't as toxic as later claimed. Others argued complicated emotions can exist even during unstable situations. No matter which side people believed, one thing became obvious. The public was emotionally invested now. Every small detail generated thousands of comments because viewers felt like they were uncovering hidden truths about celebrity relationships most fans never get to see. Another thing that kept fueling the drama was the internet's obsession with analyzing emotional behavior. Fans watched Cardi's interviews, Instagram lives, facial expressions, and online activity like investigators studying evidence. If she looked serious for 2 seconds, people called it heartbreak. If she posted music clips, people called it a distraction strategy. If she disappeared from social media for a day, rumors instantly exploded. That's the problem with modern celebrity culture. Once a scandal reaches a certain level, the public stops seeing celebrities as regular people and starts treating them like characters in a giant reality show. Every action becomes part of the story, whether it means anything or not. Meanwhile, Stefon's silence kept creating even more speculation. Some viewers praised him for staying calm, while chaos surrounded him online. Others believed the silence looked suspicious. But regardless of interpretation, the lack of public statements allowed social media to control the narrative almost completely. The internet also became fascinated with reports that certain witnesses appeared confident and relaxed while speaking publicly. Reaction channels turned courtroom clips into viral commentary videos, breaking down everything from pauses in speech to eye movements and body language. People online acted like amateur forensic experts overnight. What made the situation even messier was how quickly internet culture turned the scandal into entertainment. Memes started circulating everywhere. Clips from commentary channels went viral on TikTok. Twitter users created jokes about receipts, secret circles, and hidden relationships. Even people who barely followed sports or hip-hop suddenly knew about the drama because social media pushed it nonstop. At the same time, many fans began debating whether Cardi B deserved sympathy or criticism. Some argued she was being publicly embarrassed while trying to support someone she cared about. Others claimed she ignored warning signs from the beginning. The arguments became extremely emotional because people projected their own relationship experiences onto the situation. That's one reason celebrity scandals spread so fast. Audiences don't just watch the celebrities. They see reflections of their own lives inside the drama. Betrayal, loyalty, secrecy, jealousy, and public embarrassment are emotions regular people understand deeply. When famous people experience those emotions publicly, millions of viewers become emotionally attached to the outcome. Another huge topic online involved the idea of status inside celebrity relationships. Many commentators argue that situations like this are often less about love and more about access, power, luxury lifestyles, and social positioning. That theory spread rapidly because people already believe celebrity circles operate differently from normal relationships. Soon the internet began treating every woman connected to the situation like part of a larger social hierarchy. Fans debated who held influence, who had loyalty, and who benefited most from staying close to Stefon's world. Some discussions became so intense that even unrelated people connected to the story started trending online. Then another layer of controversy appeared when commentators started discussing how public narratives shape legal outcomes. Some argued social media had already decided who was guilty before hearing all the facts. Others believed celebrity status protected powerful people from consequences. Those debates expanded the story beyond entertainment and turned it into a larger argument about fame, money, and influence in America. The media coverage only made things bigger. Sports networks focused heavily on Stefon's career and possible NFL consequences. Entertainment blogs focused on Cardi's emotional response. Gossip pages focused on betrayal rumors. YouTube creators combined everything into dramatic breakdowns filled with theories and speculation. And because every platform framed the story differently, audiences became even more divided. One article would describe the situation like a relationship disaster. Another would focus on financial disputes. Another would emphasize legal inconsistencies. As a result, the internet split into multiple camps, all arguing different versions of the same story. Still, one narrative kept dominating above all others. People believe Cardi B may have discovered just how complicated Stefon's private world really was. That idea became the emotional center of the entire scandal. Fans especially reacted strongly to discussions about the last person to know. Social media users repeatedly pushed the theory that Cardi may have publicly defended someone, while other people around him already understood far more about the situation behind closed doors. Whether accurate or not, that storyline emotionally hooked millions of viewers. Another reason audiences stayed glued to the drama was because the story constantly evolved. Every few days, a new theory emerged, a new reaction clip surfaced, or another social media trend reignited debate. The scandal never fully cooled down because internet culture rewards ongoing chaos. At one point, people even started comparing the situation to famous celebrity relationship breakdowns from previous years. Commentators referenced high-profile entertainment couples who faced public humiliation, cheating allegations, or emotional scandals while cameras watched everything happen in real time. Those comparisons made the drama feel even larger because audiences already understood how damaging public embarrassment can become for celebrity brands. And while all this happened, Cardi remained one of the biggest names in music and entertainment. That automatically increased public fascination because people wanted to know whether the scandal would affect her image, her fan base, or her future decisions publicly. Some fans believed she would eventually distance herself quietly from the entire situation. Others believed she would stand by Stefon no matter what happened. But almost everybody agreed on one thing. The internet pressure surrounding the relationship had reached an extreme level. By this point, the story had grown far beyond a courtroom case. It had become a non-stop online spectacle involving loyalty, fame, relationships, money, emotional betrayal, and public image all colliding together at once. And according to many people watching the chaos unfold online, the biggest explosion still hadn't happened yet. By the time the internet reached the final stage of this drama, the story had completely transformed from a celebrity controversy into a full cultural obsession. People were no longer just talking about court testimony or relationship rumors anymore. Now the conversation was about power, influence, loyalty, and what really happens behind the scenes inside celebrity lifestyles most fans never get to see. Every new discussion online pushed the idea that this scandal exposed a hidden world operating quietly underneath the glamorous public image everybody normally sees on Instagram. The craziest part was watching how quickly public opinion kept shifting. At first, many people approached the situation emotionally. They picked sides immediately and defended whoever they personally liked more. But as more details, rumors, and reactions flooded social media, audiences became less focused on simple loyalty and more focused on trying to understand the bigger picture surrounding everybody involved. That's when online commentators started pushing one major theory over and over again. They argued that this entire scandal wasn't really about one single argument or one specific accusation. According to social media, the situation represented what happens when complicated private relationships inside celebrity circles finally spill into public view. Whether true or not, that narrative spread like wildfire because audiences are fascinated by the hidden side of fame. Many fans especially focused on the idea that celebrities often build entire ecosystems around themselves made up of friends, assistants, stylists, trainers, and longtime associates who become deeply connected to their daily lives. Once people online started viewing Stefon's world through that lens, every interaction connected to the case suddenly looked bigger and more important. At the same time, Cardi B became the emotional center of the entire story, without even being the main person involved in the legal drama itself. That's what made the internet reaction so intense. Fans believed they were watching. Someone publicly realized that parts of her relationship may have been far more layered than she originally understood. Every appearance Cardi made online turned into headline news. If she posted music clips, people claimed she was distracting herself. If she stayed quiet, people called it heartbreak. If she looked emotional during a live stream, the clips immediately spread across TikTok, Instagram, X, and YouTube within minutes. The internet analyzed everything. And the more people talked about Cardi, the more audiences became emotionally invested in her response instead of the actual legal outcome. That's when the scandal fully crossed into entertainment territory. The public stopped asking, "What happened?" and started asking, "How is Cardi going to react next?" Meanwhile, Stefon's silence continued becoming one of the biggest talking points online. Some fans believed his quiet approach looked calculated and strategic. Others argued it allowed rumors to grow even larger. But either way, the silence created a vacuum that social media filled with endless theories. One major conversation that kept spreading online involved the idea of loyalty versus image. Commentators argued that celebrity relationships often become difficult because public loyalty and private reality don't always match. Fans debated whether standing beside someone publicly during controversy is a sign of strength or a mistake that eventually leads to humiliation. That discussion exploded especially hard because audiences connected it to previous celebrity relationships they had watched fall apart publicly over the years. Social media users began comparing Cardi's situation to famous entertainment couples that survived scandals temporarily before eventually collapsing under public pressure. Those comparisons only increased attention around the story. Another thing that made this drama feel different was how heavily internet culture shaped the entire narrative in real time. 20 years ago, stories like this would mostly stay inside tabloids or entertainment news shows. But now millions of people participate directly in the conversation every single day. They clip live streams, repost screenshots, analyze interviews, create theories, and spread reactions instantly. That constant cycle turned the scandal into a non-stop digital event. Even people who didn't follow football or hip-hop still knew about the story because it flooded every major social media platform. TikTok creators made dramatic edits. YouTubers uploaded breakdowns lasting over an hour. Twitter Spaces debated the case late into the night. Everybody wanted to feel like they were uncovering hidden truths before anyone else. Then another major shift happened online. People began discussing how celebrity scandals often affect careers differently depending on public perception. Some argued Stefon's image could recover quickly if audiences viewed him as unfairly targeted. Others believed the controversy itself could still create long-term damage no matter what happened legally. Sports fans especially debated whether NFL teams truly care about internet backlash as long as players continue performing at a high level. Entertainment fans, however, focused more on Cardi's brand and public image. Because Cardi has built a massive career through personality, openness, and connection with fans, many people believed emotional public scandals hit differently for her than they would for an athlete. That's why social media became obsessed with predicting the future of their relationship. Every blog seemed to have its own theory. Some claimed Cardi would quietly distance herself after everything calmed down. Others insisted she would defend Stefon publicly no matter how messy things became. And of course, internet gossip pages constantly hinted that more women, more stories, and more secrets could eventually surface. Whether those rumors were real or exaggerated didn't even matter anymore. By this stage, audiences were fully addicted to the drama itself. Another topic that kept spreading online involved the role money and fame allegedly play inside celebrity circles. Many commentators argued that once huge wealth enters relationships, trust becomes extremely complicated. People online debated whether certain individuals stay close to celebrities because of emotional connection, financial opportunity, career access, or social status. That conversation became especially controversial because social media users started describing celebrity relationships almost like business ecosystems where loyalty can shift depending on power and influence. Some viewers believe this situation exposed those hidden dynamics publicly for the first time. At the same time, critics pushed back against the internet's obsession with turning real people into entertainment. Some fans argued social media had become too comfortable treating emotional situations like reality television. Others said public figures understand attention comes with fame. The arguments became larger than the original controversy itself. But through all the noise, one reality remained obvious. This scandal permanently changed how many people viewed the relationship between Cardi and Stefon. Even fans who still supported them admitted the internet had exposed a level of public pressure most couples would struggle to survive. And according to many online commentators, the biggest damage may not have come from courtroom testimony at all. They believe the real damage came from perception. Once millions of people begin questioning trust, loyalty, and hidden relationships inside a celebrity couple, the narrative becomes almost impossible to control. That's why the story kept growing long after individual headlines faded. Every new interview, social media post, or public appearance reopened old conversations all over again. The internet never truly lets viral scandals disappear anymore. It stores every clip, every screenshot, and every rumor forever. By the final weeks of the online frenzy, people had turned the entire situation into a symbol of modern celebrity culture itself. To some viewers, it represented betrayal hidden behind luxury lifestyles. To others, it represented the dangers of internet speculation and gossip culture. And for millions of fans watching from the outside, it became another example of how quickly fame, relationships, and public pressure can collide in explosive ways. But perhaps the wildest part of all is that nobody truly knows what conversations happened privately behind closed doors while the internet built theories nonstop. Social media may believe it's solved the mystery, but in celebrity culture, the public usually only sees pieces of the full picture. And sometimes those missing pieces are exactly what keep people obsessed long after the headlines stop trending. If you made it this far, then you already know this story was way bigger than just another celebrity headline. Between the courtroom drama, the viral internet theories, the relationship rumors, and the nonstop social media reactions, this entire situation turned into one of the wildest entertainment stories people have seen in a long time. And honestly, it feels like the internet still hasn't uncovered everything yet. Every week, new clips, new screenshots, and new discussions keep showing up online, and fans are still debating who really knew the truth behind the scenes from the very beginning. One thing is clear, though, this whole situation changed how people look at celebrity relationships, loyalty, and the hidden circles surrounding fame. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think Cardi B should stay with Stefon Diggs after everything that happened? Or do you think this situation exposed too many red flags to ignore? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now, because this debate is far from over. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next viral story everybody will be talking about.